German, of course, the holy trinity of Indian cinema. उसमें से एक किसी को बुलाने जा रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, a maestro whose music has transcended borders, touched millions of hearts and brought India to the world stage. He's like this storyteller, a bridge between tradition and innovation, east and west, soul and sound. Give it up for Mr. A.R. Rahman, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, the first thing that came to your mind when you got to know the storyline of Thug Life, what was it like and where did it all start? Please talk to us about that, sir.
I was preparing some gangster cues. No, actually we are experimenting on various palette of melodies and so the first lullaby which is here on the trailer that came in, and there's one very haunting voice which comes, I don't know what language it is, but that gave a very unique feel and we really loved it.
So who's the biggest OG thug, if you had to, tell us, amongst the three of you or
Those two.
those two? Oh, he said it. Those two. Okay. Sir, anything in particular that happened while scoring for this film, like some instructions that you got from Mani sir or Kamal sir in particular?
With him, he said, I want your full level of involvement in this.
Okay.
So I knew that he's a special child of him. So I told this when I came back to Mani sir, he said, Kamal sir told Mani sir, I'm very excited. Let's do even more.
And of course, वो दिख रहा है म्यूजिक में, इसीलिए यहाँ तालियां सीटियां बज रही हैं whenever we are talking about this song. Give it up for Mr. A.R. Rahman one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And now, मेरी तरफ से भी वही to the power of 100. साथ में करेंगे थोड़ी देर में. Okay, now it's time to invite on stage a cinematic visionary who's redefined Indian storytelling, a master craftsman whose films blend emotion, artistry, social relevance, and what-not. With unmatched elegance, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one, the only, Mani Ratna sir. बहुत स्वागत है आपका. Sir, first things first. What came to mind that you said, okay, I have to do Thug Life with Kamal Haasan sir? Like, what was the first draft like? What was the first page like? Talk to us about that.
No, the first thing that came was Kamal Haasan, and then Thug Life came in. So it started from there.
It started from there. So, and what was it like? What was the first conversation like, sir? Tell us.
Like it has always been, trying to see what movie we can make and how well we can make that. And so we talked of various things. And at the end of it, this is what we come up.
And it is super Gen Z, sir. It is super Gen Z. A lot of people, the Gen Zs are connecting with it and talking about it. So was that the idea? Like, you wanted to cater to them?
No, we are Gen Z.
We have to talk about the scale of the production and coming together of all these wonderful people, sir. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think the scale is designed by the story. Whatever that demands is what you go towards. And it's always a pleasure and it always makes the director's job easy when you have the correct cast and crew. And I've been lucky to have the best, so it's been fantastic.
Wow. Give it up for Mani sir one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, there's this thing that I would want you to answer. We remember Kamal sir from a lot of his performances, but for Sadma Mein, he's on that platform, that is something that has been etched in our memories forever and ever, So for you, what was that first impression of Kamal Haasan sir? Because I know this collaboration is it goes back ages, but what is that one thing that you remember Kamal Haasan sir for?
No, strangely, I remember when he was planning Sadma in Tamil. And I think this is a story that I've heard, so that is what etched in my mind, that when he heard the narration and he came back, he enacted that scene in this compound to tell them what the scene was, So that's the kind of person he was, and I was lucky that I could, before I got into it, or just when I was trying to get into it, to be able to interact with him. So I knew, there was somebody who was making a big part for all of us to come in, and that's what he's done.
Seriously, give it up for Kamal Haasan Sahab, and of course, Mani Ratnam Sahab, and of course, the entire team here, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to invite on stage a true icon of Indian cinema, an actor, director, writer, singer, and a visionary whose career spans over 6 decades, ladies and gentlemen. Someone who's never shied away from pushing boundaries, redefining roles, and elevating the art of storytelling. A true national treasure. Give it up for Mr. Kamal Haasan. So you mentioned that Thug Life brings together talent from across industries. A lot of people have come in from various industries. How was it putting together this magnum opus, sir, and of course led by the gentleman here?
Both of us were looking for suitable characters and great talents, and we found it here.
You are, a part of this film as an actor, a writer, producer. What was the most exciting part, sir, and how did it all come together?
The most exciting part you didn't mention. Working with him was the most exciting.
Absolutely.
Well, automatically, all the other things happen.
I am sure, sir. I am sure we'll get to see this on the 5th of June. So we just talked about first impressions, So he told us about Sadma and that particular scene. Your first impression of Mani Ratnam, sir?
First impression is that I know him as a friend living in the same area. I didn't even know that he belonged to a film family. He was a person, and I liked the way he spoke. We became friends, and we had a group of friends. We were talking only cinema, no gossip, and that's where it started. And all of the films you mentioned, we all know about it, including when we were doing Aajkal in, I think, in Colaba. And Ramesh City Saab was shooting in Film City. So we had some shots in Film City. So we all went to see the shooting of Mr. Ramesh City. We are ultimately, the qualification that brought us here is that, like you, we are fans, film buffs. That's what brought us here. We'll go to any set to watch anybody work, especially those who we consider as talented. We'd like to watch them work, and that's what we did.
Wow. From Cine lovers on the stage to the Cine lovers across the globe. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this. Before we take questions, I've got some questions from our friends from the media. Before we take those questions, it's time for a quick photo. Yeah, can you do that? Yeah, lovely. Give it up for Kamal Haasan Saab for his style, ladies and gentlemen. Of course. We'll quickly get the chairs here. Can we get the chairs? And then we'll take the questions. Sir, Mani sir, I have a question for you and Kamal sir before we open the house to our friends from the media. And that is, because right now there's a debate, people are talking about how film releases, and OTT releases are like happening back to back. But in this case, it's going to be 8 weeks apart. If you could just talk to us about that.
See, it's not even an experiment. It's a pragmatic thing to do, and I'm glad that the OTT agreed and we sat together, and it was not a negotiation, it's a plan, which maybe others could follow, and it'll make the industry healthy. And we're glad that we were the first to be there, to avail of that opportunity.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Of course, we'll get to see the movie in theaters on the 5th of June. और उसके बाद 8 हफ्ते बाद OTT पे आएगी. बड़े दिनों बाद ऐसा कुछ एक arrangement, और जैसा सर ने कहा, किसी ने कुछ दबाव किसी पे नहीं डाला. ये बस एक plan था जो कि हो गया. We'll quickly get the chance. Thank you. All right, sir, we have these questions that our friends from the media, they've shared with us. Kamal sir, we have the first question for you, and this is from Sohail F. Fidai Saab from Instant Bollywood. He wants to know, the title Thug Life has intrigued many. What does it signify to you, and why did you and the team feel it was the perfect title for this story, sir?
Kamal sir,
We were thinking of we were looking at various titles. We kept telling each other various titles. During the conversation, he suddenly said, okay, for one title. So it just popped up. And so he said, that's it. And that's how it happened. That's how quickly it happened. As a matter of fact, for a moment I didn't understand whether he's saying, we'll talk about it again tomorrow, or okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Which means it's okay. I understood it afterwards.
Okay, so the next question is from Samina from Zoom. You pulled off many intense action sequences over the years. In Thug Life, which action scene pushed you to your physical and emotional limit the most, sir?
Action scenes, you can't be very emotional. So if somebody gets hurt. So, what you see here is not an easy thing to do. We had great stunt team and stunt director, so we did it all without injury to anyone, which is a great thing to begin with. Then the fight looks good. What we owe to fellow human beings is nobody should get hurt, and that happened in the film. Nobody got hurt, and we are happy to have finished such a difficult action scene like that. And that was. Otherwise, this film is not all about only that. When you ask about emotion, there's a lot of it.
It's not just action, it's much more than that. Sibu sir, we have a question for you from Jaya, Galata, India. Say, if you had to describe Thug Life through one moment or one dialogue that gave you goosebumps during filming, what would that be, sir?
Which you guys seen the trailer of say many
How cutely he said that, right? Of course. बिल्कुल मेरी तरफ से भी आपको उतना ही सारा प्यार. Okay, sir, Shweta from New J, she wants to know, Nuj, right? You're known for defying expectations with your bold choices. In Thug Life, what's one surprising aspect of your character, Simbu sir, or the film itself, that even caught you off guard while shooting? Was there something that actually caught you off guard while shooting for this?
most of it, yeah, but I think it's something which I've not played before, and the character has a kind of a pain So that was very important to maintain in all the scenes, and of course Mani sir is there. In case if I go somewhere wrong, he'll come and tell me what to do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, sir. Trisha ma'am, this one's for you. Hitesh Harisinghani, Rediff Singh. Where are you, sir? You're here somewhere? There he is. Okay. So he wants to know what was the most thrilling or memorable part of working alongside Kamal Haasan sir and the cast in this movie, Thug Life.
The very fact, this combination, right? Like I have individually worked with them, but to see them together, and even for me, I've grown up watching Aajkal. So I wanted to see how would a Mani sir and a Kamal sir be on set, and how would it be working with them in the same frame. So that itself was, there was a certain anticipation we all had as actors, just to see like, wow, to see them together after 36 years again.
Right. Thank you so much. Okay, Mani sir, this one's for you. Shiv Dwivedi from Latestly. What drew you to the title Thug Life, and what can the audience truly expect from this film beyond the action and the grandeur?
Like he told me, he drew me to Thug Life title. It was his idea, and it just felt right. We've been searching, and it just felt right. And I told you, we are Gen Z, so Thug Life works. And this film is actually a very emotional drama within a world of crime. So action is inbuilt into it, but it also is a very emotional story between several characters.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Raman sir, this one's for you. You and Mani Ratnam sir go back a long way to Roja in 1992. Can you reflect on your long-standing creative journey together and how it continues to evolve with this movie, Thug Life, sir?
It's quite the same. We try to discover something to enhance the movie or to push what we can do cinematically. We're still trying to do that and constantly trying to refine and
Runa ji from Web Dunia, thank you so much for that question. Okay, now this one's from Aanand ji from Hangama. From Sagar and Ek Duje Ke Liye to Hindustani, Hey Ram and Chachi 420. Kamal sir, this one's for you. Your legacy spans generations, even in Hindi-speaking regions, you know. So how does it feel to be celebrated as the original pan-India star long before the term became a trend?
That's not all my doing. Most of it was your doing, and then Mr. Devalachandra. He picked me up and brought me here to work, and they made it work. Right.
सर अगला वाला सवाल इस वर्तमान से देवा रति जी का एंड उनका सवाल ये है कि with over 6 decades in the industry and a massive body of work, do you still feel the pressure of box office numbers, or has your perspective evolved over time?
So the box office number is how big is not what we're looking at, but it shouldn't be how small. We have to look at a break even because it is a business. And we have, and he's from a business school, and I'm from this business. I grew up with this business. But you can't disrespect business and do business with the business.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. Sibu sir, this one's for you. Shweta from Nuj, one more time. You're known for defying expectations with your bold choices. In Thug Life, what's one surprising aspect of your character? We did talk about this, right? And now, the next one would be, how was the experience of working with Kamal Haasan sir, especially?
It was really nostalgic thing, because when I was a young kid, that time my dad used to show me his movies and tell me, like, and that's how I started looking at Kamal sir as a on-screen guru he was. So suddenly one day you're like acting next to him, so that was really a great feeling. And there's a lot to learn from Kamal sir. And if I start talking about it, I can talk till tomorrow night, so I don't want to, like, but acting with your guru itself, like, that gives you a great, very special feeling. So thank you, sir, for everything, and thanks to Mani sir as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Trisha ma'am, this one's for you. Nishad Nilambaran from News 18, he wants to know, you worked with Mani Ratnam sir before and his characters are always layered and impactful. But sharing screen space with Kamal Haasan sir under Mani sir's direction, how did that synergy feel? And was there a moment where you just knew this was a cinematic magic, that's going to happen on that big screen?
I think that's something I knew when they announced the film and I had not even signed it. So that's when I knew, wow, this is magic. And I was not even part of the film at that point of time. And like I just said before, to actually see them come together and to see their chemistry, like Kamal sir has said so many times before, they would speak with their eyes. They were in total sync with each other. And it was amazing to just watch them. So all of us as actors, we were like, oh yeah, we have to like do some work here. We've got to like stop staring at them. So it was magic.
Right. Thank you so much. Mani sir, this one's for you. Hindustan Times se Ayush Parwani. Your action sequences often carry a lyrical, emotional undertone. What's your process behind creating that signature blend of visual beauty and drama, sir?
I think with a title like Thug Life, we can't but do action sequence, and it has to fit, emotionally right also. And I think it gives you a liberty to be able to convert it into a lyrical form only because masters have done it before. There have been Sergio Leones and there have been Kurosawas who've told you that action need not be, less lyrical, and that gives us a target, or that gives us a bar to which you aim.
Right. Thank you, sir. Abhirami ji, this one's for you. Amandeep Walia from Awaz India News TV. You played many memorable roles across genres. What was it about Thug Life that made you say an immediate yes? That one thing.
Do you see the three people here? Do I need to say more? That's why that's it. I mean, the moment I walked into Madras Talkies and met with Mani sir and he told me that you have a part in this movie, I didn't even want to know what part it was. I'm like, yes, tell me where to sign.
Right. And once you were done shooting for the movie, what was that first thing that you told yourself? खुद को क्या बोला ये करने के बाद? Because this is a big thing.
Feels like I finally made it.
Wow. After excellence, इतने सारे साल तक इतना कमाल करने के बाद. Ashok sir, I have a question for you. Of course we talked about your experience of working with the legends here. But what is that one thing of Thug Life that's forever going to be with you? And where would you see that in your filmography? Abira Dhar ka sawal hai, please.
This is the most special film, and I'm pretty sure this will be the most special film because I am working with all my heroes, all my gurus to be precise. So it's a really special film. This will be the crown of the jewel.
Thank you so much. Sir, Mani sir, this one's for you. The trailer of Thug Life feels distinct, almost a departure from your usual tonal palette. Does this shift reflect Kamal Haasan saab's involvement in the screenplay? And how has your creative relationship with him evolved since Nayakan?
Oh, it's been the same. I think he was equally involved in Nayakan. I mean, there are a lot of things in Nayakan which is, from him, from how he's performed and how he's made it alive and things like that. And he continues to do that after all these years.
Right.
He adds so much value to the scene that, you can see it grow in front of your eyes. You can, as a director, you can, take a backseat and watch something happening in front of you.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Rahman sir, this one's for you. The first track from Thug Life is already making waves. How much of the album's sound is shaped by Mani sir's vision? You have to talk to us about that. And after so many iconic collaborations, what made Thug Life feel like another chapter worth composing for? Shweta from Nuj.
And then he'll try to see whether he can fit that idea into the movie. And if it fits, he'll come and tell me number 3, number 7, number 25. Not 20 actually. So he said, I like these tunes.
I'm waiting for 25.
So, and then we will take it to the lyric writer. And the singer was like, most of the movies are like, don't call a singer, whoever comes that they will sing. In this case, there was Charlata Mani, a Carnatic singer, who comes in to wish me or something. She fully dressed up. I said, why don't we try this lady? and then she comes in and we change the key to her key, and then she did the beginning of the Tamil one. So yeah, we had fun.
We're also having a lot of fun, sir. Listening to the wonderful music here. Of course, Mani sir, this one's for you. How did this ensemble come together, sir? You brought in some of the finest talents from across the country. Was it by design or by evolution? Neha from Mashable would want to know, sir.
I call them up and say, please act in my film. I have a role for you, please act in it. Because I think you'll be perfect for it. And sometimes they're very nice and they say yes. And that's how it happens.
Sometimes they say they are nice and they say yes. Imagine Mani Ratnam Saab saying this. Sir, you made these wonderful people say a lot of amazing things on that big screen. And Simbu sir, Kamal sir, there is a request. Now everybody would want to hear that one dialogue from the trailer that we just heard, sir. I know. Ye request aayi hai, sir, वहाँ से. They would want you to say that one dialogue, sir, जो आप दोनों का है.
Which one?
Sorry?
Which one?
Babbar Sher would do anything, sir. Aha. Please, sir, yes.
I've said it. You'll have to come to the theatre.
But he said it. You have to come to the theatres. Simbu sir, of course, we won't let you go like this, sir. मैं तो बोल रहा था we could just shake a leg here. लेकिन वो नहीं हो सकता तो फिर यही कर लेते सर. एक डायलॉग तो बनता है.
Why this problem is just a movie. अब से मैं ही हूँ यहाँ का रंगराय शक्तिवेल.
Of course, अब से वही हो सर आप जो आपने यहाँ कहा. इस टीम के लिए एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, ladies and gentlemen. The OG cast of Tagline. We get to watch the film in theaters on the 5th of June. We quickly